this session, so you can view it later in case you have to leave or in case you want to show one of your students. Okay. And then again, we'll answer questions the best of our ability. And then you can always go back to the homepage, the Open House website homepage, and we have the link there for you. We'll have it at the end of the program here too as well. So that way, if you're going to another program, you can go back to that homepage. So again, welcome to Sports Med. My name is Leslie Tofano. The students call me Mrs. T. I am also a certified athletic trainer. So I kind of contract out sometimes, and sometimes the students actually shadow me if I am working, so they can get some hours. So what the program we're going to share with you, I'm sorry, is the curriculum, the credits, our CTSO, which is a student-run organization, certifications that the students can get, as well as many experiences and opportunities within the sports med realm. So some of the credits that the students get is A&P, so anatomy and physiology, which we go over a lot of anatomical kinesiology. They also get an English 12 credit. The great thing about English 12 is it's correlated with sports med. So a lot of the stuff they're doing is all about under the umbrella of sports med. Sports med elective, they will get credit, and as well as a Red Rocks concurrent enrollment for wellness fitness. So they'll get, I think it's 2 credits for Red Rocks, and it's under wellness and fitness, which is great. And some certifications that they obtain is the basic life support, so CPR, AED, Stop the Bleed, they get a certificate through there. And also I have an asterisk for this personal training. We weren't able to do it last year, but this year at the end of the year, hopefully we can do this. It's running a personal training camp. So they'll actually, by the time they get done with this camp, it's an intense study camp to be certified in personal training. So a question that came up in the other ones is in the other chats were, you know, if they're not 18, can they get their certification? You can get your certification with certain with certain companies under the age of 18, but you can't practice personal training until you're 18. So you won't get hired until you're 18 from like a club or anything. So again, even if they're 17, they're a junior, or even if they're 16, you can get that certification and take the test, and then when you're 18, get hired. So some lab and classroom settings. So I do a lot of classroom knowledge, and then we always go to the lab to test that knowledge on a hands-on environment. Some of the topics that we go over is evaluation and management of injuries. So those students will learn to diagnose an injury, which is fantastic because one of my students weeks ago, she evaluated her dad, and she came up with a diagnosis. She told him what it was, what to do. And the dad went the next day, he already had an appointment, went to the doctor. Doctor said the same thing his daughter said. So she was so proud of herself. She came in. I thought that was awesome. And a lot of our students do that, and it's fantastic. And sometimes we bring in people from in the community or other teachers that may have some type of injury, and we evaluate them and use it as a tool in the classroom, a learning tool. They also do treatment and prevention of athletic injuries. So they do a lot of modality use, which is electrostim, ultrasound. So they'll learn how to do that. They will not be certified to be able to do that on a person, but they'll learn how to do it and why they're doing it. They'll do cupping, foam rolling, electrostim, I think I said that, different stretching and flexibility techniques. So a lot of good information that they learn. Fitness and conditioning techniques, different type of movements, what's a proper squat, so an athlete won't tear their ACL. So they'll learn why, using Q angles, goniometry, all different hands-on tools. Nutrition, they'll learn about nutrition and sports nutrition. Anatomical movements, like why the body is the way that it's working and what's going on, and how to correct those movements if that will cause an injury. Journal and research techniques we do through the English portion. They learn through PubMed and researching credible sources, not just one, but many, to basically back up their statements on what's going on in the medicine field. So they'll do a lot of AMA, which is American Medical Association. We do have an English coach, which is our group chat person right now. She comes in and actually teaches the English portion. I'm there as well. And we kind of co-teach with that and go through like my knowledge and her knowledge and put that together. So it's a really, really good opportunity for students. They're well prepared writing journals, researching when they go in, if they decide to go into the college setting through medicine. And then career and professional fields. So some hands-on experience, I kind of went over it already. Evaluations, so they'll do injury assessments, treatments, taping modalities, and some exercises that they do, a bunch more. I'm only kind of for the iceberg right here. Tissue response, they'll learn about the way the tissue heals, and that's the classroom setting, and then the suturing is what they learn. So they'll learn different techniques. They won't get certified in it, they won't be able to do it, but they'll learn it. It's great to have that background knowledge in case they decide to go into the profession of surgical tech, or they want to be a surgeon, plastic surgery. So it's a really good opportunity to get a student's knowledge, understanding of where they can go in the medical field. And then concussion management, they'll learn about cranial nerves. They'll learn on and off field evaluations of athletes with concussions. And then anatomy and physiology, we do a lot of dissections. We just did the heart and lung this week. And then we're gonna do cadaver lab. We'll go into, we're going there in 2 weeks to cadaver lab, and they'll get to see 2 cadavers. So I just wanna show you a little video on kind of what I just explained. Yeah, if I can get to that. Sorry about that. I haven't figured out how to get that correctly. So each time I mess it up. So let's see. Okay. So some of the different classroom knowledge or just the different things that they do to test their knowledge. Um, the students get classroom assessments just like normal. So they'll do unit assessments. We do modify if they need some modifications, we work with that. They do, I just wanted to go back, I'm sorry, for the video. There were a lot of the pictures on the video were pre-COVID. So that's why you see no masks in a lot of them. And then some of them were pictures from this year. Okay, or the end of last year. So I just want to make that known. But again, I do unit assessments, so in-class written assessments. I also do projects to assess. Basically, you see the skull and the brain and different projects that they do for molding of that. Case studies they do for English, journal research, academic competition we do through their CTSO, and I'll get to that in a second. And then skills assessment. So I assess their skills, the hands-on portion, and they do different stations. And we usually do end of the semesters skill stations, or I do some in between. So soon they're going to get tested, my class this year, blood pressure. So they're taking blood pressure. And then another assessment is how blood circulates through the heart, but they're doing it orally. So I made a life-size heart and they walk through it, describing it as they walk through. And then I check them off that way. So there's many different ways that I assess them, trying to get the diversity of each student. And I make sure they know it. They're definitely comfortable and they know it before they get tested, because I don't want them to memorize. I want them to know it, understand it, and then apply it. And that's my main goal with the students. Opportunities and experience that they get, job shadowing. So we do a capstone project. This year we couldn't get to it as much. And the end of last year we couldn't, but they usually do 10 hours of shadowing somebody in the field of sports med. It could be anybody under that umbrella of sports med, and just to see if they really want to go into that profession. Okay. That's basically their capstone project for the sports med portion. And then scholarships. Warren Tech offers a lot of different scholarships, opportunities just for Warren Tech students, which is great. Internships, some global pre-med, as well as some other things that students have done in the past. A student this year is going to the Dominican Republic for global pre-med, and they're actually going to shadow a doctor in the Dominican Republic, and they get a lot of hands-on there. It's not like the US with being in medicine. They get a little bit more hands-on, especially in the third world countries, which one of my students went to, and she actually got to deliver a baby. So interesting, great experiences for them. Some CTSOs, Career and Tech Student Run Organization. The students run this organization where we have a president, vice president, kind of like student council. And they do different things. They could do competitions, which consists of HOSA, which is the health organization, or Hunch, which we did is High Schools Unite with NASA to create hardware. And then also mock interviews, which goes with Power Professional Workforce Readiness. So they do a lot of different things that student run, and the students actually organize a lot of this. The picture on the right here is we were in Houston at the NASA physiology lab. One of the students set that up during her presentation of the product that we were presenting to the astronauts, which was a single point exercise harness. And they worked on that, and we got chosen to go to Houston for that. So a lot of different opportunities and experiences for the students. A great thing they learn for what we do is communication skills. They learn how to communicate. They learn how to talk to people in the field, outside of the field, and just get themselves out there and known. A lot of the shadowing that they do creates job opportunities and internships for the students as well. So some have gone on. One of my other students is a personal trainer now, and at the rec center at University of Nebraska. So it was great to hear that he is doing that now. So different internships opportunities. Some of the pictures you see, anatomy and clay, we work with clay to mold for different muscles, learning origin and insertions. Here's some dry needling techniques being done. We had a guest speaker come in, a physical therapist come in and do dry needling so the students can experience that. The lung dissection, you could see. And then just some other opportunities. We collaborate with the EMT program as well and do stabilization techniques, stretching, fine boarding, and learning how, if they have a concussion, what to do, going through the whole motions and the whole activities of that. So we like to do cross curriculum activities as well. Field trips, we didn't get to go on as many this year, unfortunately, but usually we go on a lot of field trips as well. So a little, this is something a student made last year. It's a promo video, kind of goes over a day in a life of what a sports medicine student. Yeah, we were just saying how it makes us miss the students when we see them. One of the things that you see is we did Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory for our, that's one of my favorite movies, but for our Halloween kind of thing, but we combined the cranial nerves with it. So it was fantastic because I always try and make it a learning experience. So each station of our chocolate factory was the cranial nerves, which means if there was taste is one of the cranial nerves. So we called it the cranial nerve one, and they actually had to taste different things. And this was pre-COVID, of course, but I try and make it a learning experience in whatever we do. So we're running short on time. So if you have any questions, we can answer that in the chat for you. And that is to send me a message, which is Donna, our English coach. And then also, I hope to see you in the fall of 2021. This is an actual picture from the lab. We do a lot of, at the end of the year, every student gets to put their handprint on the wall for hands-on experience. Here's a window so I could see into the classroom. If some people are in the lab, they can look, I can look from the classroom to the lab or vice versa. So I have an eye on everyone. But if you're interested, apply warrentech.org/apply. And then you can go back, if you're going to another program, you can also go back to the Warren Tech Open House website, and over here is the link on the left. And if you have any questions, we'll answer those now. We have about 4 minutes. And if not, we'll see you hopefully in the fall.